welcome to North of 48. It's July 19th. Hope you're doing well. As you can see, I'm in my living room. My office is way too hot. And it's been about 36 degrees Celsius. And we're cooking. The garden's cooked. I have to water it twice a day. Got to watch your dogs. Their paws will hurt. I'm glad you could join us. We got a couple of things on the go here. One of them being is we seem to have a lot of forest fires right now. And as you can see, it's absolutely roaring wildfire rips through BC farming valley.
It's absolutely roaring. Venables Valley, west side, fully engulfed, consuming everything in its path, the whole valley. I'm about 200-300 meters away and I already feel the heat. There's no way, no survival in that path of destruction. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a silver line right there. It's about, I don't know, 100 meters, 50 meters from the flames. That's my place. Sprinkler's going. We'll see what happens. It's all in Krishna's hands now.
Well, for sure. It's more than 250 fires are burning in BC, with officials warning of a challenging 72 hours ahead. Where I used to live up in Spence's Bridge, north of Spence's Bridge, Shetland Creek is on fire, and Spence's Bridge is 21 miles away from Lytton, the town that burned down 2 years ago in 40 degrees Celsius heat, which is 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're hurting pretty good here. There's heat warnings all over the place. In Alberta, there's 143 current active fires, and the current year there's been 741 fires that are extinguished. Right up here towards Fort McMurray, I don't know if you can see this, Cenovus and Suncor, the oil sands refineries, have been evacuated. It's devastating. It's just devastating again this year. Up north, we've seen temperatures in excess of 30 degrees in the Yukon and Northwest Territories. Not supposed to be like that. It's getting ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Let's get back to a little news in Western Canada, especially Edmonton and Alberta. There's a hot weather alert. We're not expected to stop anytime soon, and Alberta's facing extreme summer heat. Your help is urgently needed to provide meals, shelter, and life-saving care to vulnerable neighborhoods living on the streets. And you can go to thehopemission.com, and for $2.70, you provide a meal and care. And this is a place I donate to when I can. It helps kids, it helps single women, it helps people on the street, and it would be very, very well. Your money, I mean, what's $2.70, right? And what's 10 days at $2.70? I'm sure some of you could afford it. And if you're not in Alberta and you're hearing this, think about in your own town, even in the States. Think about your own town and giving to, with this extreme heat in North America, at least on the left side of North America, the right coast is getting rain, which is a different story, and we'll get into that in a second. But the Hope Mission and agencies like that provide a needed benefit to society, and it helps people. I hope you can help. Now, in Edmonton, outreach workers scramble to help Edmonton's vulnerable, keeping cool in the record heat wave. And you see these things here? Let's scroll up just a little bit here. So these water stations are attached to a fire hydrant. And this one's near 96th and 103rd Ave, but they're all over the city. And people can fill up water bottles. And we've seen some homeless women too wetting down their hair and trying to cool off. We're going as high as 37 degrees this week. And wow. And this is second day of record-breaking temperatures this week. Those who live and work outdoors are at greater risk of falling seriously ill. So you don't need me to tell you that. But these water bottle filling stations are installed all across the city and will remain operational until September 30th of 2024. Okay, over at the other side of the country, we have from remnants of Hurricane Beryl. I'm from Alberta, I'm out west. Hurricane Coyote, however you pronounce it. Anyways, the cleanup continues in Toronto, in the greater Toronto area after widespread flooding from the storms that came after the hurricane. I'll play you a couple of seconds of this.
Images now seared into people's minds. Drivers trapped on highways needing rescues. Transport trucks navigating the Don Valley Parkway like cruise ships. The potentially dangerous scenes should never have been allowed to happen, according to this climate adaptation expert.
When you know that an extreme rain event is coming, shut it down. People can't use it anymore. It will be annoying to not have that available, but it could save lives and people's cars and money.
Our early predictions and estimates working through Environment Canada data and all the rest was that we were going to see significant rain, but rain that we felt we could handle.
Toronto City Manager says a review is now underway for future major rain events.
Okay, so they're having trouble out there. Anyone dealing with flooding in their home has to contact the city's 311 line. A lot of Canadian cities, you phone 311, local line to get through to city officials. And yeah, that's something else, eh? That is something else. And of course, Drake, his Toronto mansion, 50,000 square foot home. 50,000 square foot home, Drake. For crying out loud. Anyways, he films muddy water pouring through it. And he says this is better than an espresso martini. I just threw this. Oh, wow. That's quite the picture right here. I just threw this in because, why not? It's located in the high-end Bridle Path area of Toronto. All these gangster rappers with these homes. I don't hold any ill will. I just think of, $2.70 helps a homeless person a day. Just saying, Drake. Just saying. Okay, moving right along here. Sorry about going so quick. I'm tired today, and it is so friggin' hot. I burnt my nose, or at least it's red in my face. I got a little too much sun today. Maybe my gray hair will turn blonde. You think? Anyways, Walmart has now signed on to the Grocery Code of Conduct. What is the Code of Conduct? I don't know. Let's find out together. New rules could increase competition, but might not lower prices. How is that a thing? How can you have increased competition but not lower prices? I don't want to party like it's 1999. I want to shop like it's 1999. This is really ridiculous. I was at Costco this week, and I came out with groceries. I could count almost on one hand, and it cost me the equivalent of what I made for 1 week's work back in 1981. So a week's worth of wages in 1981, and I barely had anything in the cart. And man. Anyways, it cleared a major hurdle this week with news that all major grocery retailers will sign on. The code has been years in the making, tense relations between retailers and suppliers. A major point of contention has been fees that retailers have charged to keep suppliers' products in stock and to promote them. Oh man, so if you're a company, you pay a fee to get your items stocked on the shelf. What a racket, I'll tell you. It doesn't help me or you as a consumer. These are relatively concentrated in the Canadian market, and they have market power. They can say to suppliers, we control 15, 20, 30% of the Canadian market. If you want access to those consumers, you have to give us cheaper prices. Doesn't that sound like a shakedown? Don't you think? It's a shakedown. You wanna come into our store? You're gonna have to grease my palm, and that's what they're doing. If you want access to these consumers, you have to give us cheaper prices. I wouldn't mind that part if they pass those cheaper prices to the consumers, but obviously they don't. 2021 federal report found those fees had grown in their form and scale, leading to tension in supply chain relationships and dampening investment from some food processors. It also, this is the thing right here. It makes it hard for small producers to access the same marketplace, the report said, and for smaller independent retailers to compete. That's why I get California lettuce up here in the largest city in the Northern Hemisphere, Northern Canada, because what, the Alberta growers won't pay the market fees to the suppliers? I mean, it's ridiculous. The report noted the Australian and the UK had responded to some similar concerns by establishing grocery codes of conduct. A committee made up of industry groups was set up to explore a similar code for the Canadian market. So far, I don't see cheaper prices. It says the code of conduct. I'd like to throw them all into jail. The code of conduct includes provisions for fair and ethical dealing, commercial agreements, and a smattering of miscellaneous topics such as how to handle the process of delisting a product. And another section has about fees, and it sets a guideline for how retailers and suppliers interact. Like, big whoop. Let's get to the gist of it. It's supposed to be a more level playing field because larger players will always retain an advantage because they order in such large volumes. Well, duh. That's what it is. My recommendation is that all cities have a bylaw that local farms and stuff get dibs. You know, and the thing is, we got to come up with law. So all these big retailers bought out all their stores, and they closed down competition, and they rebranded under their name or a discount name. We as a consumer, we don't get these discounted prices at all. A lot of the grocery chains own the stockyards, they own the stockyards where the farmer brings the beef to. The farmer is not making more money. This last 2 years, especially with COVID, these grocery chains in Canada are making a friggin' killing. And you and me, we're having a hard time. Now, I do have my own little garden that helps, but I don't have cows out in the back. I don't have chickens or anything, so just vegetables. Maybe we should all be vegetarians. And the way with lab-grown meat, maybe we will be one day. That's a topic for another podcast. I lost my train of thought. Ooh. Basically, is we're still getting screwed, is what it is. Now you have a code of conduct. What could it mean for competition? They agree should help smaller grocers compete with their larger counterparts. Okay. Takes effect June 1st, 2025. So not. So Walmart was the last big grocery store to sign on to the code of conduct, and I'm glad we have a code of conduct. Maybe it'll help. I don't think it will. I think it's been watered down in order for Walmart to sign on to it and the other grocery chains. What I'm saying is, we used to have Independent Grocers Association. That's been bought out by a retailer named Sobeys. They bought them all out. Co-ops in the city of Edmonton, we don't really. Saskatchewan still has a lot of co-ops. We have co-op gas stations. Yay. But then we have farmer markets. I always try to buy local. I'm sorry, if I get something from Washington, it's usually got pesticide on it, and I have to peel the heck out of it if I do, which includes potatoes and onions. So, sorry, Washington. Unless it's organic from Washington, it's pretty hard for me to do that. And it ticks me off because why should I have a Washington apple when we have Alberta and British Columbia apples? Like, how far is that apple have to travel to feed a guy like me? And did you see how hot it is outside now? Is the carbon from the diesel trucks and stuff contributing to this? I don't know. In other news, our dear friend Annie Lee, who writes for the Daily Cost, has been put into a timeout. And here's an example of one of her articles. You can go to Daily Cause. What I usually do is I put Ukraine into the search bar, and up come a whole bunch of, why crane? Up come a whole bunch of articles on Ukraine. And as you know, Ukraine's dear to my heart. The Russians invaded Ukraine illegally, and there's people dying there. And for you sitting on the couch saying, no, don't help them, much like the RNC vice president candidate, screw you guys. This is important for the people of Ukraine. I'm sorry to make that statement, but it's important that the Ukraine gets some help and that they're fighting the good fight here. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of articles, but Annie Lee has been put in a timeout after a vlog of 874 days straight, daily updates, and as who was this again? 40 Grit on Daily Costs writes, I am sad to write that one of our dearest diarists has been put into timeout. Annie Lee has posted daily updates for 874 days about the Russian invasion of Ukraine, sourcing materials from dozens of news sites and social media to keep us informed about the state of things in the largest war on earth currently. And I'm sad to say currently, but the Daily Costs has had some great Ukraine coverage on the war, and where you can go to contribute to Ukrainian agencies that desperately need money to help their people and to help their soldiers in the field. Now the thing with Daily Cost, Marco Koss, who runs the place, he never had a good thing to say about Bernie Sanders during 2016, so I was really put off. But I know Annie Lee personally. She's got good character. She's an honest person. What happened was she put the wrong picture in, and on another story with Trump without the bandage, and she was writing about the assassination, and somebody reported her a really bogus report, and it's just, no, people have better things to do in this life. I mean, really. However, several people have stepped up and continue to write, like NETOP, continue to write about Ukraine and the war. Well, Annie Lee is off for now, so hopefully Annie Lee comes back soon. If you want to go to Daily Costs and put in and say, hey, bring Daily Costs, bring Annie Lee back, I think she would appreciate that. And of course, the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. I didn't even bother to get into the discourse on this. There's a lot of good people out there putting out podcasts and YouTubes, and I could not compete. But one person who tried to take advantage of, just give me 2 seconds here, it's just a terrible thing, is our Premier Danielle Smith. And she says progressives need to rethink rhetoric in the wake of Trump's shooting. Oh my God. There is not a progressive in the province that has advocated violence or anything, and she's just jumping on this. Let's listen to a minute of her.
Of Alberta's premier.
I think everybody's very concerned. When you see an attempted assassination,
U.S. media report.
Yeah, everybody is concerned, but holy mackerel. Politicians are going to politic, and they're going to try to take advantage. And this is the rhetoric in the States, too, about, oh, both sides have to cool down. If you've been watching the RNC at all, you'll see that cool-off period, this unity approach, is not there anymore. It was good for a day, 2 days. That's why I didn't want to get into this discussion on the RNC and about the assassination of Donald Trump. The one thing with the child, and I think he was a child, he was, what, 20, 22 years old. Doing this, apparently they've unlocked his phone, and they found that he looked at where Biden was going to be and also where Trump was going to be. And I guess the area was 50 miles away from where he lives, so it was convenient. And he decided to shoot at Donald Trump. And nobody knows why. He did search on his phone that for depression. Just a shame. At first I thought perhaps it was a Hinckley episode on when he shot Ronald Reagan over wanting to take Jodie Foster to the prom. I'm thinking now he's I don't know what set him off, and I mental health. The media doesn't help. Other people don't help. That's why I didn't want to talk about the subject. Just give it a couple of weeks to cool down. As far as Biden goes, he's either going to step down or he's not, and you're going to go forward. I think you're voting for administration. Now, as a Canadian, what America does affects Canada and who we treat with. I'm worried about Ukraine not getting the support they need with J.D. Vance, the vice presidential candidate who said he doesn't care about Ukraine. I'm worried about India getting so close to Russia. You know, but is stuff I can't control. You can only control. My advice as far as elections go is pick the best person in your riding. Vote for that person regardless of party, and hopefully things go out. But the social drama can we not get a week 1 week of calm where the whole world isn't up in arms over what's happening in the United States. I'm just saying it would be kind of nice, you know. Just saying. Just want to show you this. This should have been in the segment prior, but ear bandages emerge as a new fashion statement among Trump's supporters. I seen one meme that said it was a Lindell pillow. Fight, fight, fight. We're such a stupid species, aren't we? Oh, well. Just want to thank you for joining me. That was just a couple of things that's been on my mind this week. It has been so hot up here. And, you know, you just see the grasses out in the countryside just burn brown and yellow. And East Coast has got a lot of rain. The West Coast and prairies were just hot, hot, hot. I don't know what the answer to all this is. I guess time will tell. Hopefully we can find out. Is it carbon? Carbon checks came out too, by the way, from the Government of Canada. Check your account or your mailbox if you got yours this week. So you get paid for doing your part, I suppose. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.